All right, so you ready for this? The 6 steps to become a paid speaker. Step number 1, tell people. Now, I know this sounds really stupid, but the amount of people that I consult when they come to me and they go, hey, I do want to be a paid speaker. I've been doing many, many stages. And I go, great. The first thing I do is I look at their social feeds. Why? Because I want to see the validation they've got. I'll look at their website. I'll look at the social. I'll look at LinkedIn. I'll look at Instagram. I'll look at all of these things. And I look at the bio. And it'll say things like father, entrepreneur, investor, CEO, author. Where does it say speaker? If you're not going to own it, how can anybody else? So the first thing to do is very, very simple and very, very stupid. Just put the word speaker in your bio. You'll be stunned at how much difference it does make. Okay, so open up all your social feeds and make sure that within your little thing, it starts with speaker. You can have speaker, consultant, whatever, but make sure speaker is in your bio for every single one of your social feeds. The web page, okay? You say you're on stage. Now we're skipping. We're on the understanding here that you're already good enough to be on stage. Okay, you already have a script. You already have a story. You already have a point for the audience to gain impact from your experiences. The storytelling aspect of actually preparing a speech, we're not touching on that. That's a completely different thing. We're assuming you've already got that in the bag. You know how to do it and you want to be able to monetize it by putting it on stage. Good. So go through and get assets. Now, I know it sounds funny, but a lot of people don't ask for the assets. Whenever you do a gig, and let's be blunt, in the early stages, you are going to do free gigs because you want the assets. And the assets are the video of your speech, photographs of your speech, flyers. We'll come back to that in a second. People ignore the flyers, but flyers are very, very important, okay? So you want to make sure you've got the assets. You want to make sure you've got those things. Flyers, video, and audio, okay? Because when you come back, they are going to be the fundamentals of your validation. They're going to be your social proof. They're going to start your sizzle reel. But those are going to be the things that you're going to put on your website, okay? You're actually going to have a web page, and it's going to be a speaker page. Now, there's nothing to buy here. stevedsims.com, hit the button speaker, and you'll see a speaker page there. And the first word on that speaker page says the word, the title, speaker. It doesn't confuse. It says speaker. I actually, when I started building up a page and I wanted to do more stages, the first thing I did was I went to all speakers that I knew and that I liked. And it went from everyone from Jay Abraham, Brendan Bouchard, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Grant Cardone. I went across the board and I looked at the speaker pages. And as colorful as they were, as the pictures were different, as all of these things were different, there were a lot of things there that were remarkably the same. The ingredients were all the same. Some glorious pictures, a sizzle reel, a little bit of stage animation showing videos of you on stage. Now, I always wear a black t-shirt on stage. When I first started putting my speaker page together by taking all the ingredients out from everybody else's pages, I noticed that they showed pictures of them all on different stages. Why is this important? Because you want to show that you didn't just do one stage. But because I wear a black t-shirt, if I got a picture taken from 4 or 5 different angles, it looked like 4 or 5 different stages. Okay? There's a game being played here, folks. It's not the choice of whether or not you play it. It's the choice of how you play it. So in the early stages, you will use as much out of as little that you've got. And then as you build it up, you can splice those out. Okay, so get yourself from different angles on the same stage. Pop in there at lunchtime. Pop in there on mic check first thing in the morning. Get someone to take some pictures. Get someone to shoot a video as you're actually doing something on stage. The crowd doesn't have to be in there. You're on a stage. That's going to be used for your B-roll. Okay, the GoPro 7 is a phenomenal camera that's 4K, which is as good as any other camera on the planet for you to just get some footage. You don't even have to get any sound with it. You can have some music and just have you walking across the stage, just waving. People go, oh, look at him wave. No one's in the audience apart from the people setting up the chairs, but who cares? Okay, get your assets. So ask for all assets whenever you do it and start to reverse engineer a web page. How can you expect someone else to actually take you seriously if you don't. All right. So you've got to make sure your web page is there. It shows different stages. And then what you can do is you need a buddy. You need a wingman. Someone with an iPhone that as the people are coming out after you've done your speech, again, I don't care if it's a school. I don't care if it's your local community center. I don't care if it's Harvard or the Pentagon. Get someone with a video saying, hey, you just saw Steve Sims on stage. What would you say about him? You know, what did you think about Steve Sims? Oh, we're doing a review on the speaking event here. What did you think of Steve Sims? He just came off. Get people, those little kind of like, that guy was cracking it up. He was good. The nuggets he was dropping. 4 to 5 seconds. You combine those all together. That's all you need. But try and get them at the beginning. Trying to gain assets after an event. Trying to get testimonials after an event. Trying to get pictures. That's tough. So ask for it in advance. Again, I failed. I did loads of speeches at the beginning, didn't get any assets. Hey, could I get a video of that? Someone actually said to me, well, we paid you 12 grand for a speech. For 6 grand, we'll give you the assets. Okay? If I'd have asked right at the beginning, it wouldn't have been a discussion point. Now, of course, I did not pay for that, but the point is, I lost out on some of those assets. Learn from my mistakes. Okay, what's the point? Now, this is a very important point here, okay? It's the people that you're dealing with, the audience. They need to know, what is the impact? Again, think of it. Are you providing an impact? Are you providing a solution? Or are you doing a sales pitch? Are you doing an advert? Now, whenever I get any gigs whatsoever, I speak to the event people. I speak to the people putting on the events. And we're going to go into that in a second. And I say to them, hey, I see you've got an event coming on. Not spoken about money. Not spoken about availability. But I contact them and I go, hey, I see you've got an event coming on. What are you hoping the audience is going to leave with? What is the reaction? What is the trigger? What is the impact? What is the outcome? Well, my seminar is all about sales. So what are you looking to do? Are you looking to motivate them? Did they think anything's possible? Or are you looking them to walk out the door with techniques and tactics that they can actually implement and use? What is it? Some people will want rah-rah motivation. Some people will want a 10-step guide on how to do X better. There's nothing worse than going to an event and giving a speech, a presentation, and speaking to the wrong people. Okay? So care. I also, whenever I've got a gig, and again, abuse me for God's sake, look at how I do it. I get the flyers, and we're going to come back to flyers in a second. That's a very important little bit that so many people miss out on. I get the flyers, and then I promote the event. I promote the event for a number of reasons. I promote the event and go, hey, I'm really chuffed I'm going to be speaking in Vegas. I'm really chuffed I'm going to be speaking in Marbella. Okay? But then what I do is I start communicating with the people that are responding, going, oh, are you going? Yes, I am. What are you looking to achieve? And directly start building up rapport and a relationship with the people that are actually going to be at the event. What do you want to know? Hey, I could get there and tell you how brilliant I am. I'd rather get there and tell you how my brilliance can make you brilliant. Would you prefer that? No one's ever going to say no. Okay, so the bottom line of it is start trying to build up a rapport prior to the event so that when you go in there, you're not cold. People are like, oh, who's this guy? They've already interacted with you. They already love what you got going on. They're already buying into it because you're solving them. You're talking to them. Okay, that's very, very important. So start the communication. Also, the event people are chuffed because you're promoting the event. They may get an extra few seats out of it. But what are you really doing? This is where we come back to the flyer thing. Again, it's not a choice of whether or not you play the game. It's the choice of how you play the game. That flyer makes me look good because 99% of the time when you can request a flyer, they make you pinnacle. Even if you are one of 20 people, okay, and you're on the front line and you're like over here somewhere, if they send you a flyer, they'll always make you front and center. Request to be front and center because it's a validation that you're going to be speaking at the event, and tell them it makes my job easier to promote your event. So even if you're not the keynote person and you're one of the support, then ask for the flyer and they will naturally do it. Any event company knows what's on. They will put it up for you. Collect those flyers. Also, by you promoting it, any other event company you go to validate you're any good, what are they going to do? They're actually going to look at your Facebook page, aren't they? They're going to look at your social feeds and they're going to see that you promote those events. They're going to see that you actually put those flyers up there with the web link of how to do it. You're now advertising, you're promoting, you're engaging. What event doesn't want a few more bums on seats? Okay? So not only do they get a great presenter from you, they actually also get someone that's marketing that event. Flyers are one of the most overlooked bits. I go to so many events and I go, well, did you get a flyer out of it? And they went, no. And you can collect these flyers. I actually have a iPhoto and a Dropbox link where I just channel all of those flyers in there. And so I have like about 30 flyers from like the past year and a half. And I could just put them up there. And at the end of the year, what can I do? I can put a collage up of all of my year's speaking gigs from Phuket, Thailand, from Mexico, from Marbella, London, Paris, New York, Virginia, South Boston, Virginia. All of these places I could put a collage up there, which again is validation that I do what as a living? Speak. All right? Don't make it too confusing. Don't make it too difficult that you are a speaker. Use every possible chance to tell people you're a speaker and to tell them while getting you get so much more involved. Now, there's 3 more things that we're going to go through. As I say, we're going to open it up to a Q&A as well. I can see people jumping in on here, so thanks all you folks for doing it. But here's the 3 things you need to do. Once you've got your assets, once you've got your pictures, now bearing in mind you can do this with just 2 events. As I said to you before, I know for a fact, because I've seen this done, someone will go to soundcheck in one t-shirt or a shirt, have photographs, footage, and then when they go on stage, they got a different suit on or a dress or whatever. It looks like 2 events, okay? Again, do the most with the little you can. In the early stages, you can also always splice it out, but you must get a sizzle reel, okay? This is a little introduction to how confident you are on stage, how you act on stage, how people react to you, okay? Get all of that on a sizzle reel. Again, it's not on my webpage because I thought it was cool. It's on my webpage because it's what event companies want to see. Before they talk to you and they ask about your price, they actually want to know you're capable, you're competent. Because you may be a really big fish in your pond, but outside of your pond, you're gasping for air and no one knows who the bloody hell you are, okay? You've got to convince these people that you need to be on that stage. And how do you do that? You validate, 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 and guess what? Validate. So get a sizzle reel put together. Go on Fiverr. I remember I had about 5 people that did my first sizzle reels and they were crap. Each one of them got like $20. The last guy did it was phenomenal. He charged me $30. I gave him $200 tip. Okay. Bottom line of it is when you get someone that's good, keep them. Now, every time I get a stage that looks good, every time I get some videos that look good, I send them over to him and he splices them in. Okay. Your sizzle reel is never stagnant. It never stops. It always grows with you as you age, as you develop, as you progress. So be aware of that. But go through Fiverr and understand you'll waste money on 5 people to get to that diamond. And no, you can't have mine. All right. Before I suddenly start getting the text, who's your guy on Fiverr? Do your own work. All right, one sheet. On the Steve D. Sims page, and when you go down at the bottom, you'll see something called a one sheet. This is genius, okay? Not because I thought of it, someone else thought of it, but then I did it, I fell into it, I made a mistake, and it worked out to be brilliant. The one sheet, it's called a one sheet, but every speaker worth their salt has it, but it's not one sheet. It's like 2 or 3 or however's many. It's a little printable PDF on who you actually are. But here's the thing. Every event company is looking to wow their client because event companies and bookers, they want to impress their clients. Okay, so they want to bring along someone that they've maybe never heard of before, that's incredible on stage, that's going to blow everyone away, that's going to make them look really big, really good, and get them to be able to do all the events again and again and again and again. So the one sheet is a way of validating that you're good, but also if you suck, letting the event production company off the hook because, hey, it looked good. So the one sheet you do in 2 formats. Very important. Listen to this. Low res and high res printable. Why? Because if there's a meeting, they may want to print off these flyers and put them in as a potential at their meeting. That gets done a lot. But if you want to forward a high res document, you do not want to be opening up a PDF that's 15 megabytes. okay, because it's all printable quality. So what you do is you send out the low res, but you print off the high res. This is what the event production companies do. The amount of times the event production companies have come to me and gone, thank you so much for doing a low res version. That made it so much easier for me to distribute. Okay, so the speaker sheet should have a couple of cool pictures, a little bit of quirkiness, a few testimonials, a few little clicks on there, where you've been, what you've done. It just needs, again, to validate. Remember the key here, you validate all the way through, and then you charge. So you're now doing a speaker sheet. You validate once again that you've been on these stages. These are the kind of testimonials you've got. These are the places you've been. If you don't have it in the early stage, maybe you'll just do one sheet. Maybe it'll be a little bio with some pretty pictures. But guess what? When you get those assets that we spoke about, they suddenly start becoming your photographs. They suddenly start going onto your one sheet. That are things that empower you to show that you are actually a speaker, and that's where you start getting charged. So the one sheet is very, very, very important, but make sure it's available to be clicked on as a high res and a low res. All right? Very important there. And then this is the good one. When you're actually sending this out, and we're going to go over how you're going to do it, you ask them, may I promote your event? Now, do you remember I said to you that you always want to promote with the flyer? Ask permission. There's a lot of speakers, and I've met these speakers. They're back, and we've all met these speakers. They're backstage, and hey, I'm a big deal, and I closed a $10 million contract, and I'm a New York Times bestseller, and I've been an Amazon bestseller 5 times. Gives a shit, all right? There's no humble. You don't want to be working with a diva, and I'm telling you now, folks, there's a lot of speakers out there. There's a lot of people that are doing what you're doing, similar to what you're doing, half the price, easier to work with, maybe better looking. For some of you that are on this chat, I know most definitely better looking. You know, and bottom line of it is, you've got to capture the crowd. You don't want to be trying to capture the event production company by being a dick. So show that you are part of the event, not the draw of the event. Hey, I want to promote the event. Can I help you with that? Another one I like to do is I say to them, hey, I know you've got an event coming up. I'd like to get involved with the event. I often do a video prior to the event just to announce it's coming up. And hey, we could also do it on your Facebook Lives and in your feeds to say, hey, I'm coming to speak at Vegas. I'm really looking forward to it. Get your questions ready. I'm there to make you more impactful when you leave than when you turned up. And show your willingness not just to turn up because the check was cashed and you're just going to be there to talk. So show that you actually want to be a part of the event, to grow it, to benefit, and to make it more revenue productive, because that way you'll get other gigs. Your next speaking gig is sitting in the audience. Okay? You think that's silly? It absolutely is not. The people that are sitting in the audience go to other conferences. They throw their own conferences. Maybe you'll go to one that's got a 2,000 people there, and the others in there, they run little events for like 100 people, okay? Your next speaking gig is sitting in that audience, and they are watching how you handle yourself on stage, before stage, after stage, and they go, oh, wouldn't I want that to be me? Those are the basic 6 routes of getting on the stage and being impactful when you're on the stage. Now, there's 2 other questions that are out there that I'm sure you're about to ask before we go into the Q&A stuff. The first one is, how do I get the gigs? Okay? The first way you get gigs is to do everything I've told you. You need to be positioned. Then what you need to do is you need to do an outreach. I have a structure. And the structure shows how to do an outreach, how to connect with the people that are running these events, how to find the people that are running the events, and then propose for them to be on the stage. And we have a 3, 6, and 12-month plan. So the bottom line of it is, if you know of a really, really cool event that's coming up in the next month that someone's promoting on Facebook, okay, or promoting on LinkedIn or wherever, okay, contact them. Now, it's way too late for you to be on stage. And before you go, well, no, it's not. It's only a month away. People don't pay when it's a month away, okay? You may be a filler. You may be a couple of bucks, but they're not going to pay you what you deserve. I charge $15,000 to $25,000 a speech. I've done 24, 26 this year, done a booked up for 2 of them I didn't charge because I work with those people and I have a great relationship with them. But I charge all of my events. And my friends contact me and they go, hey, I want you to do a gig. Great, I may give them a friend discount, but they never get it for free. Why? Because I commit to people that commit to me. Okay? That's how you've got to value it. You're there to benefit them. Bearing in mind, everyone sells tickets. Okay, so they're making money off of it, so you should be part and you should be getting what you do. Said to you before, you don't give away the farm for the price of a cow, so make sure you charge accordingly for your experience and what you can bring to the stage. When you're actually going out to these people and you've seen an event and it's a month to maybe 2 months, congratulate them on the event, wish them all the best, and say, I'm going to be watching the event. I'm sorry I'm not in town, or I am in town and I'm going to be going to it, whatever. But just make contact with them before the event, not promoting you. Okay? But you can put a line in there saying, as a speaker at a lot of these events, I know how hard it is and I wish you all the best. I'll be watching it and rooting for you all the way through. You've announced you're a speaker, you're showing respect, you've made contact. Then you follow up with them 2 months after, not the week after, because they're all in a pub or they're all just sobering up or they've all just gone to kind of like decompress. Throwing an event takes it out of you. Don't be an idiot to think it doesn't, okay? So 2.5 months later, reach out to these people and go, how did it do for you? I thought it looked great. Hey, I know it was probably hard work. I know some things probably went wrong, but let me tell you now, it looked great, okay? All the best. The amount of times I do that, and then I go, oh, thank you very much. It's very nice. Hey, would you consider being on there for next year? Everyone wants to basically go fishing in a bucket. Everyone wants easy, low-hanging fruit. You're now that low-hanging fruit. Now, they would have already checked you out. They would have already have seen the speaker page. They would have already seen how you react to different speaking events. Again, you got to get traction at the beginning, so it's going to be slow. There are going to be some free events, but it's what you do with those free events to pay for your other events. So, again, that's one of the things that we go through, how to get on stages for the best use and grab of assets. But they're going to be watching how you actually interact with these people, and they're going to go out to you because you're low-hanging fruit. That's why there is the 1 month, the 3 month, the 9 month, and the 12 month. If it's a big event, you want to be shooting for keynote. You maybe not keynote material yet. Keynote is the main draw. I think I've only been on keynote maybe 50% of my events this year because the keynote will always be the Tony Robbins or the Jay Abraham, and that's fine. You know, playing second fiddle to that standard of people, I'm absolutely fine with. But, you know, if you do manage to get the keynote, then you've got to be focusing a year in advance. Otherwise, you're going to be a great supporting part, which is the 6 to 9 month part. Other than that, you're going to be a bit player, which is the 1 to 3 month. Okay? But focus on seeing how you can bring as much value as possible to the stage you're going to be working on. Now, we're going to go into the Q&A. As I say, I'm going to be, and I'm going to pitch it here quickly. I'm actually doing a 3-month course for $6,000, $2,000 a month. And I'm actually going to walk you through reviewing your social and your validation as a speaker to get you up there. Help and design your sizzle reel. That's where my connections come in. Design, review, and critique your one-pager. Show you how the outreach for gigs, which is my formula. Build a structure that you can follow with to get the paid after you've got the validation. So you'll do some unpaid, then you'll do the paid, and I am going to help you get on some of those stages. And then set your fees. One of the biggest problems people have is how to set the fee, how to ask for the money, how to ask the payment, what the contract looks like. It ain't that hard. You just need someone to help you put it together. That's, my fine folks, is how to be the 6 steps to be a paid speaker. Now, I'm going to open it up now to find out if anyone here actually wants to ask me any questions. So if you've got any questions, I'm going to urge you to just put them down now. I see there's a lot of really good people here. So we got it here. Dress code. That's very important, actually, funny enough. You've got to dress that you're comfortable. I actually just got asked to do a gig. And they asked me to actually wear a suit. And I said to them, it's not how I usually do the outfits, but they said, this is what we need. You've got to make sure you can show up as you. You've got to be you. If you're not you, it isn't really going to go through and it isn't going to come across because they're going to see that you're wearing someone you're not. It's like me turning up now with a beanie or something like that. It's not me. So you've got to be true to your audience. So you've always got to say, This is my dress code. These are my requirements to be on stage. These are my requirements before I go on stage and post stage. Things like assets, AV. I know a lot of people that like a handheld mic, okay? Because when they've got a handheld mic like that, they feel as though their hands aren't doing this. Me personally, I'm a very handsy person, okay? I like an earphone mic, and I will say, I need a headset or I need a lav mic like the one I'm wearing here because I need to be able to do this, okay? So you've got to work out, first of all, before they tell you what it is that you need. So you've got to have what they call AV settings, you know, PowerPoint presentation and intro videos. That's a whole new live webinar. You notice I've got an intro video, as the great Joel Weldon ever says, never leave it a liability for someone else to introduce you. You're too good for that, okay? So, you know, make sure you've got all of these sets down. Whenever I do a gig now, it's like, this is what Steve will be wearing. This is his AV requirements. And again, I can share that with any of you that are coming into my course and structure. And then it's, you know, what you need in the green room, what time you'll be there, what you need for mic check. It's the basics. It makes things easy. Like everything, if we know the structure, if we know the outline, they can't be disappointed, you can't be disappointed, and you can focus on being the best impact for the gig. All right, so we've got good. I'm glad you're liking the speaker sheet, Susan. Yeah, that's right. The speaker sheet, that works so well for me. It's been pretty amazing how that actually has done for me. Right, okay. Oh, books. Okay, do books help? So Scott here says, hi, Steve, great video. I've authored a book and want to know the best way to use my book to help me to get speaking gigs. Books are a great way of showing you having authority. Now, I'm not talking about you, Scott, but the bottom line of it is that anyone can go out and self-publish a book and have a book on their desk by this Saturday. Okay, it's very easy to do now. Maybe a pile of turd, it may even be a pop-up, it may be even completely blank, okay? But the bottom line of it is anybody can do a book now. But the book is your business card, okay? Jay Abraham said to me when I did my book deal, he said the book is never going to make you a billionaire or even a millionaire, okay? He said the book is never going to make you rich. What the book opens doors for you will be what gets you a beach house in Malibu. And I said to him, I said, no, I know some rich authors. And he went, who, JK? And I went, yeah, JK Rowling. And he went, no, she sold the rights to Harry Potter. The movie made her rich, not the book. And that's a fact when you look at it. So no one's going to get wealthy from selling a book, but it's a calling card. Put a little note in it. Send it to the event companies. Send it to the bookers. Send it to the people that are on stage. Speak to the people that are on stage. And when you start circulating stages and you start following each other, you find out what stages they're on and you can reach out to them and go, hey, Bill, I saw you doing this stage. Who's running it? Oh, you need to speak to Stephen. Okay. Please make an introduction. Okay. As long as it's not competitive, if you're not both doing reverse mortgages, if you're both not doing, you know, how to strengthen your mind, if you're both not doing love coaching, as long as there's no confliction, you can actually be an addition. When you do that, though, be aware that you've got to offer it to other people. You've got to be able to let people out there go, hey, if any of my peeps that have shared stages with me need an introduction, I'm happy to do so. Whenever I leave a stage and I speak to the people that put the stage event together, okay, I say to them, who are you looking for next year? Maybe I can help you, okay? And I find out who they're looking for, and then I actually refer them. I've done that for Jay, Ken Cragen, Barry Habib. Many people that I know, I actually promote them onto other events because A, I know their quality. B, I know they do an absolutely great job, and I'm always happy to put them out there. I should have mentioned Bill Hart there as well. I'm always happy to push that guy. So be prepared that if you want to get the requests out, you've got to get the request in as well. So it's a two-way street on how to do that. All right, so here we go in here. Where we go? Book of the business card, yeah. Yeah, Brian says, many people hack their sizzle reel by filming themselves on stage with no audience. They do. They absolutely do. And in the early stages, bloody do it. As I said to you, this isn't the choice as to whether or not you play the game. The choice is to how you play the game. If you're doing mic check, and I've seen this, I need to be really careful because I'm really not very good at being subtle. There was this guy And by the side, he had a shirt and a jacket. And he came out, first of all, in a shirt with a jacket on and a tie and started to do this. And he was being filmed by either angle by his people. This was mic check, okay? And he's being filmed. And then he goes back to the corner, takes his jacket off, pulls his shirt out, takes his tie off, starts doing like casual, rolls his sleeves up and starts doing, he's got a glass of water in his, a bottle of water in his hand, and he's like this, and he's all kind of, yeah. B-roll. Then he goes to the side, puts the bottle of water down, takes off his shirt, and he's got a black t-shirt underneath it, and now he's being a bit more solemn. Different styles, different preface, but when you've got that kind of screen in the back, and you'll be surprised how many conference centers and places like that have the same screen. Or if you move to the left, it's a darker curtain, and in the middle is pale. So they move left and right, so you're getting a dark picture, you're getting and I've seen before where the cameras followed them on stage and the guy's going, hey, like this. No one's out there, but you don't care. It's the sizzle. Sizzle is before you get the steak. They're hoping they're the steak. So yes, I know it's a little bit cheeky, but people do it. All right, so we've got time for another couple of questions. Do you provide additional assets for attendees? Online products, reports, book? Yeah. I was chatting with Jay Abraham the other day, and there's an obligation that's going to come to you. When you start giving good, when you start giving impact, people get hungry. You can't take people to a bar and give them the best cocktail they've ever had and then tell them to be happy to go down to their local Sizzler or TGI Fridays. When you taste something that works for you, you want more, okay? You've got to be prepared to give more. So that's why I'm always offering. Bottom line is, there's a lot of people here that I hope are getting tremendous value out of me telling you how I present and promote and position myself to get paid speaking gigs. And I'm damn good at it. I've already got 5 done and paid for and contracted for 2020. Okay. So, and this year, as I say, I was like 24, 26, 15 to 25. I'm all right. So we want to make sure you're in the same situation as that. But I'm there to say, look, if you need some dedicated help, I'm going to one-on-one work with you for 3 months to get you from where you are to where you need to be to get you paid speaking gigs. So yes, you've got to give that obligation. Not everyone on here is going to want it. Not everyone on here can afford to do it. But those people that actually want to get serious with their speaking career, those people that want to save 2 years and get to the kind of contacts and connections in the wheelhouse that I play in, they're the ones that are going to join up. So yes, bottom line of it is, when you're up there, you should say, hey, if you want more of me, you can go to my website. I've got some assets there that you can grab. I've got a course that can help you. But let's not talk about that now. So whenever I'm on stage, I'm always very soft with that. Hey, I'm going to run through some things now. If you want to get busy with me afterwards, you can go to my website and there may be my website behind me or something. So make sure it's up there on your slideshow, but don't pitch it. Do the soft sell. I'm there to solve. Okay, I want to make you better. If you're ready to make you better, I've already told you where to come. So yeah, I do agree, Brian, that you should actually put stuff out there. You should help it. We're on 37 minutes now, and I think this thing bloody cuts off at 45 minutes. So I want to be really careful. I am going to send out a video in this Entrepreneur's Advantage regarding what we're going to be doing on our course. And then you'll just review it. For anyone that's come on this course, as I say, it's $6,000 for 3 months. I know Henry's probably going to send it out to you all, but if it's something that's serious to you, if it's something you really want to get involved in and make money from, and when I started it, I literally went, I wonder if I can talk my way out of a mortgage. And my mortgage at the time was like $7,500. So I thought to myself, so I did my first gig at $7,500. Someone came off stage and I was like, he was crap. And I said, how much you charge? And he was like, I'm $10,000 a speech. And I'm thinking, well, I'm twice as good as you. Following speech I did, $15,000. Why? Because I was twice as good as that guy. So there's a pricing structure that you've got to go through as well. And then I started formulating it to find out how I could make it easy for me, low effort, maximum impact, good revenue. I want to make sure that if I'm charging someone 15 to 25 grand to be on your stage, you're thinking you got a deal. Okay, that's the important thing. You want to think you got a bargain. You want to know that your people have been impacted and are going to profit and that everyone's going to benefit from you being on there. Okay, do not be a one-hit wonder. Work the audience, work the social, work the event, and make sure everyone's happy, because that's how you're going to get the repeat stuff. So that's basically it, folks. Do we have any more questions coming on? We've got some lovely people on here. I'm loving all the... I don't like doing the call-outs. Hi, Bill. Hi, Sarah. I don't like doing all that. But the people that have actually come on here and actually started doing stuff... Tina's just told me, shut up. I don't believe it cuts off. We can do an hour-long live. So I didn't think anyone wanted me for an hour. So I thought that would be tedious. So that's why I thought it was a 45 minutes. So I'm still going to bugger off for 45 minutes because I need a cappuccino and a sandwich. If you've got questions, you don't have to join the course, okay? If it gets to a point where someone's asking questions that they do need a little bit more guidance, then don't be surprised. I'm going to suggest that you actually join in. But if you will say to me, how do you do this? Put it in the Entrepreneur's Advantage. The Entrepreneur Advantage is a safe place for you to be able to ask questions. It's a place where you can go, well, okay, how do you do this? Where do you do this? What services do you do this? And if I can, I will answer. You've seen that already. But I want more people that are impactful. I want everyone to focus on impact. There's this word going around that pisses me off left, right, and center that everyone that's ever read my book knows I hate. The word authentic, okay? Fuck that. I hate the word authentic. I want us to be transparent and impactful. Your focus is you want to get paid, but you want to impact twice as much as you got paid. As long as you work on that ratio, you're going to get booked every single day of your life. All right? It's going to be a simple case that you won't want to do every day of your life because it'll wear you off. I come off a speaking gig and and anyone that's seen me speak, I wonder how many of you have actually seen me speak. I wonder. If you've seen me speak, make a little note behind there. If you say, yeah, I've seen you, you suck, that's fine. I'm not offended. But I wonder how many of you have actually seen me speak. When I come off stage, I'm worn out. I know Nick Peterson's come with me on a few of my events, and he's seen me off stage. You're just kind of, you're just tired and you want to hit the bar, which is very embarrassing when you've just done keynote at 8:30 in the morning. But you just get very, very tired. So the whole process is that you have to get out on stage, give everything you've got for an hour. Actually, on that note, you want to think about how long you can carry. Okay, that's a very important thing. Are you a 10-minute speaker? Are you a 15-minute, a 30, or 45? I do 45 with a 15-minute Q&A. Some events I've gone to, which have been more workshop orientated, I've done 30 and 30. I have done events where I've gone along and I've done 45-minute Q&A just on a fireside chat. So you've got to know what you can handle. You don't want to find out that all of your experience only sums up to 15 minutes. If it does, you need a little bit more experience before you start doing speaking gigs. So that's a little bit there. All right, we've got some more things here. Super inspiring, brilliant. Cappuccino sandwich. Yeah, I do need that. Yeah, all right. So let's talk about a couple of events. Like for argument's sake, there's a brilliant event coming up. And it's a fresh new event, and hopefully it's going to become an annual event called Wide Open Entrepreneurs in South Boston, Virginia. It's on the October the 23rd, 4th, and 5th, I think, of October. Maybe they could put the link in it here. You want to see about... Now, that one's actually been booked up. But this is a good, fresh event for you to reach out to and find out about what they want for the next years. So you actually want to start recommending other people's events, promoting other people's venues, promoting other people's speaking gigs, congratulating them on. Because I'm telling you, they're watching you. And as long as you tag them in it, they're going to go, oh, that's a good person. I like his reach. I like his spread. I like what he stands for. Or she. Sorry, I don't want to be sexist. Maybe I should invite them into the stage for the next event. So do be prepared to promote other people's. You've got to basically applaud other people before they'll applaud you. That's a good little meme. That may end up on Instagram today, unless one of you buggers have already just put it up there. You can always just credit it to Jay Shetty or something. You know, he needs all the help he can get. Genius Network, brilliant, great. All right, so we've got... David Oliver. Good one. Do you turn events down? Yes. 7 events I turned down, and one of them offered me $35,000, 10 grand over my top reach. The reason you turn an event down is when it can be detrimental to you. For argument's sake, if I was to go and speak about hair products at a hairdresser's convention, then everyone in the audience would be like, ugh. Now, think about this. You've got 600 potential people in the audience, okay, that are looking at you. That's 600 people that can go onto that Facebook post and go, well, this guy was rubbish. This guy didn't know what he was talking about. And you're right. Why? Because you took the money and not the stage. Focus on the stage. Focus on the audience. Focus who you're talking to. Don't focus on the check. I'm telling you, quite simply, the money is the fifth thing that should ever come up in a conversation when you're speaking to an event company. Why? Because you validate, bring value, bring impact, validate and value, and then charge. By the time you've gone through that route, you're a bargain, okay? Because you're there to bring impact to the group. You're there to help the event itself. You're not there to help your mortgage payments and to build your new swimming pool. So I do turn events down because I don't want someone turning around and going, he doesn't know what he's talking about because I took the money and I was on the wrong stage. If I was willing to do that, I would have netted like about $150,000 extra this year just by doing those other stages. And what would have happened? I'd have got crapped on. I'd have had people talking badly about me. I would have got into the wrong circle. I would have lost traction on the people that are talking to me and that do like and do support. And do you want to do that? Because you think about it. You can make more money, but you're going to have trouble with making more credibility or getting back your credibility. So focus on the stage, focus on the audience. Do not focus on the checkbook. All right. So David, great question. Yeah, I do turn events down. We've got some more ones here. So what have we got here? Oh, Ryan, great. Thank you very much. You put that up there. A beard barber. Yeah, maybe I will. All right. So, yeah, I think we've done 45 minutes. If there's no more questions, oh Christ, 6 more just came in. I think we got it. I think we got it wrapped up. As I say to you, you're in the Entrepreneur's Advantage, so if you've got a question, you're going to answer it. I'm going to post this video in Entrepreneur's Advantage, so anyone that didn't catch it, or if you did catch it, run through it, put it on slow-mo so you can understand what I'm actually saying, and then dissect it. I'm telling you quite bluntly, I didn't invent my speaker page. I reverse engineered it from every other successful speaker page out there, okay? So go on there. What do I need? First thing I need to do is name myself as a bloody speaker because that's what I am, okay? And then get the photographs, then get the footage and get all the other stuff, okay? So focus on those elements. Those are going to be the ones that are going to get you out there. You need to get positioning before you get paid. Any other questions, just ask. And if you want someone to dedicate the next 3 months to actually getting you on the paid stages, I'm here. We're going to send you the details. I think we've got it. Useful stuff. I love you all. I really appreciate you taking the time to be here, and I'll speak with you soon. Until then, see you on a stage once you get paid. Bye.